We are Petra and Kat. Come along as we share travel tips and discover new and unforgettable destinations. From hidden gems to popular landmarks, we hope our travel tales will inspire you to embark on your own adventures. Something.
Testing, testing, testing. Welcome to the channel.
I'm Petra,
And I'm Kat.
and today we're going to talk about the Wendella Architectural Boat Tour in Chicago. We had such a good time on this boat tour. Tell me how you picked it.
Well, I used the internet, but I knew that there were various different boat tours for architecture in Chicago, and I went directly to the reviews. And this one had just an amazing history and so many great reviews.
This particular company has been around since the 1930s. In fact, they just celebrated their 90th anniversary, which is kind of amazing. They're also the ones who run the Chicago water taxi. So it's the same company. And one of the reasons that I was particularly excited about it was that they are very environmentally impact minded. They have something called the Sea Bin, which collects trash, holds up to 44 pounds of trash, and they empty it regularly. They have sustainable practices, including aluminum cups for the drinks. Stick around to the end when we talk about that. And the other thing I think what was really is they make sure that they don't do anything to increase their emissions. They're doing as much as possible to reduce their emissions. So it's a company that is really looking out for the environment, not just in Chicago, but the area at large.
And if I can add to that, what I really loved about them is there's a lot of boats that are on the river in Chicago, and you see them. And because of everything they do for the environment, you know that they're doing things the right way. And it was all encouraged while we were on the boat.
It's a double-decker boat, so the downstairs is enclosed. There's an outer rim on the outside if you want to be underneath a cover but still out in the open. And then the upstairs is open air, which we really enjoyed for the first 3/4 of it. It started to rain at the end, and we ducked downstairs after we realized it was not just a little sprinkle.
I was actually pretty happy about the rain because we wouldn't have spent time on the downstairs level if it wouldn't have rained. So I was happy it rained.
Yeah, we got a chance to see both. Our host was amazing. Her name was Kay, and she had all kinds of amazing information about the buildings and the history of the city. And it sounds like every tour guide has their own history that they share. So you could probably do this 2 or 3 times with different tour guides and get even more information about all the cool things in the city.
Definitely each tour guide is going to have their own things that they highlight. They hit all the main things, but I love the way she interacted and how she got excited about certain buildings and the fact that she just knew so much about the past and about the history of Chicago. I learned a lot during this tour.
A couple of things that we learned was that Mrs. O'Leary's cow did not start the Great Fire. And the second thing we learned is that it's not called the Windy City because of the wind, although it is windy, but because of, I guess, in the early days of politics, there were a lot of blowhard politicians, which is kind of funny. The third little interesting tidbit was a lot of people know that Chicago is the home of Second City, the comedy troupe, has fed in to a lot of the Saturday Night Live alumnus, etc. But the reason it's called Second City is not that it's second to New York or Los Angeles, but because it had to be rebuilt into the second version of Chicago after the fire. Pretty cool. We saw so many interesting buildings and learned all about the architectural style, and we would find a second building that looked similar and we'd learn that it was the same architect. Definitely recommend if you are interested at all in history or in architecture or really just want to enjoy some time outside in Chicago. They have restrooms on board and they had a bar where you could get drinks in sustainable cups. The tour itself was about 90 minutes, and the entire time Kay was telling us all kinds of interesting history about the city. Definitely a 2 thumbs up from us.
You know, Chicago now has a river walk, and I had never seen it. And from the boat, you can see the river walk, and actually, she highlighted it a few times. And plus, it was the fall, you know, so you got to see all the flower boxes and things like that. It was definitely more than just buildings. It was just watching the people and watching the art that was along the river as well. And I couldn't get over how clean and how friendly everybody
And
was,
how
and
safe we felt when
we
we were in
felt
Chicago.
incredibly safe.
Boat is docked on right near Michigan Avenue on the Chicago River, really easy to get to. Lots of fun stuff to do around there if you want to make an afternoon of it. You certainly have your options. One of the things that we will recommend, because we're always about making sure we do it in a bargain way, if you want to have a beverage, adult beverage, you can buy beverage tickets ahead of time and it gets you a discount, which I thought was pretty good.
And I had a glass of red wine, and it was in this really cool souvenir cup that was sustainable, of course. And it had to be like 2.5 glasses of wine that was in the cup.
And it was
It,
$10.
it was $10. Now if you bought a glass of wine on the boat, it was like $14. But if you bought it ahead of time, it was a little bit cheaper. Anytime you can save a little bit of money is good.
Absolutely. We hope you've enjoyed this introduction to the Wendella Architectural Boat Tours in Chicago. If there's something that you've done in Chicago and you think we should check it out, comment below. Let us know what you like, what you missed. Subscribe, like, follow, share,
All those things.
and come back for our next video. Bye.
Bye.